I thought this was supposed to be about stocks. Where?
What's up, people? Good morning. I'm gonna get right to it. We're coming to the end of the year, a year that probably a lot of you are disturbed. If you were trading, you've got to admit one thing, and again, this is me. You probably would have done better just owning 4 stocks that did well than sitting in front of the computer and grinding it out. The reason I got into trading was for the market, to participate in the market when the market would actually sell off, to use my skills of trading to make money while the market would be going down. We'd have some down days. I'd make money while most people in general are losing money. When the market's going down, I would be able to benefit. The whole reason I got into trading was when I had a large portfolio, I would trade against my portfolio during the day, so then I would own the stocks still, but trade against them on those down days, make some money, and then still own those stocks when they started to recover. Now, if you sell a stock, you just wind up buying it higher at a later date, or never buy it back ever again, which is usually the case that I fall under. Now, going back to the beginning of the year, and maybe even let's talk about June of 2012 when I said that this market will probably never go down again. It has been about a year and a half since that video where I declared that the Fed had taken over the market, and all my conspiracy theories looks like have come true. Now, why am I not retiring? I'll tell you why. Well, I had 80 shares of Google at one point. Remember my favorite stock, Google? I said I'm never selling it till it goes to 1,000. So what did I do? First, I had 20 shares at around $3.85 that I was very happy to sell out of my son's account at $4.85. Then I had 20 shares in my daughter's account, which when it went to 600, I was extremely excited to sell it out of her account. Made about 150 points. Then I had my 20 shares that I had at around 420. That again, somewhere in the 600s, I sold it. And the saddest part about it was that the stock did come back. Each time I sold my Google, the stock did come back. One time it came in about 150 points, and I still got greedy because I wanted to buy it back even cheaper. And I never got that chance, and I never did buy it on the breakout except for the earnings report day. And then there was Tesla, of course, and I held my 1 share just for fun. I had 600 shares of Tesla at a cost average of 28 bucks, wound up selling it in the 30s because, hey, didn't want to hold it into the earnings report that day when it was around 40, but I did hold 1 share to about $100. And then, of course, there was Deckers and the story that I told about a year and a half ago about how these 2 teenage girls were sitting behind me, so excited about getting their Uggs. And I thought right there, how bad could this company be if these 2, what seems to be hip chicks behind me, are loving their Uggs still. So I bought some Deckers, in the 30s and sold that in the 40s. But the list goes on and on because most stocks went up hundreds of percent, not just you missed a couple of points. We're talking about Google up 400, 500 points since I sold. So on 80 shares, well, let's just say 50 shares because I was trading the other 20 in and out. But suffice it to say, if I had just held on to my portfolio, and don't forget about the Qs at 48 bucks, which are now at 86. But again, let's not talk about that anymore because we are talking about, what day is this? The 20th December of 2013. Now, if you aren't convinced that this market's never going down, maybe the Fed day convinced you. Okay, so hear me out on this one. Here we have a situation that for every sell-off, and there was not a lot of them, for every sell-off that the market had in the last 6 months, what did we blame it on? Taper talk, fear of tapering, possible taper, meeting of a taper, 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 taper. So every media, every news-driven financial station, all they talked about was the taper. And that was the reason the market was ever, if the market didn't go up 100 points that day, it was because we were afraid of the taper. So finally, we're at all-time highs again. Market didn't crash in October, didn't crash in November, didn't crash in December. So now we're all waiting for the taper. And he kind of did surprise us. So usually a surprise isn't good. So I didn't think they were going to announce anything. Why would they in December? Might as well wait till next year to start announcing stuff. But they announce it. Market tries to sell off for about 30 seconds just to sucker some more people in to believe that we could actually go down. And we rallied like there was no tomorrow. How can you possibly fight this market right now? Now, I know it's difficult. You can't possibly be thinking right now, good song to come on, something's got to give. Because something's got to give. You can't possibly think buying right now, you're going to have the same result in 2013 as you had in 2014 as you had in 2013. You can't think that, right? You can't think that you're going to buy 4 stocks and at least 3 of them are going to double. You can't possibly think that. But I want to tell you something. You should be. You should be. Because there are still plenty of people calling this a bubble. There are still people claiming that gold and silver are good investments. There are still people saying this market's going to crash. There are still people saying that 2014 is going to be a hard, choppy year. Until you stop hearing all types of negativity, that's when we're in trouble. When nobody could even imagine the market going down. Truly, when you hear no skeptics, all the guys calling for crashes have thrown up their hands. They've just given up. That's when we will maybe have a 5 or 10% correction. Now, I think we will. I'm in the camp of the market will surprise us by pulling back one of these days, right? But it's going to come after another 10%. We're going to move up, and then we're just going to blow off that top and pull back to where we are now, probably. So here's my predictions, and this is a great time to make predictions, right? I believe the market will rally till December 18th of 2015. Now, why that date? That is options expiration 2 years from today. I believe the market will rally continuously. We'll get that one pullback a month, maybe. And when that correction does come, it'll maybe last 4 days. I think we're going to have an exact replica of 2014, but a little bit less aggressive. I think it'll be more of a grind higher, making it a little bit more difficult for the traders. But again, if you're the buy and hold type guy, you're doing fine. Or you just try to find stocks that we do, and we try to find stocks that have gotten their pullbacks or beat downs on an earnings report or something and have stopped going down. And once stocks stop going down, no matter how bad the story was, no matter how awful that stock looked 3 days ago, do you remember IACI? Write that one down. IACI. Go check out the chart. Bad numbers. We bought a little bit on the dip because 9 out of 10 stocks make a dramatic comeback. The stock is up 20 points since they reported those bad numbers. How about you take a look at, well, it's early in the morning. I can't think of any more right now, but I'm sure there's a lot. How about ULTA, just to pick a recent one, right? Pick that up as it was coming back above 88, went up 5 or 6 points. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, how about ARIA, A-R-I-A? Their drug doesn't work, they're killing people, nothing's happening over there, stock hits $2, next thing you know, it's up 300%. SRPT. You basically just have to find any stock that gets hammered, and if they stop going down, and they finally start making a little bit of a lower, a higher low, you buy it, and you use that low print as you're out. It's worked with Angie's List lately. It worked with Zynga. It's worked with, ARIA right now. The list goes on and on. But you have to know, you have to come to the live show to get the real list because, hey, it's not fair to everybody else. But you guys should be knowing, you guys know about the stock GoGo that we've been trading for the last month and a half, right? Like a crazy bastard stock it turned into. We know we've owned that one from $13. Now everyone's talking about it. So we were on some really hot issues this year. But I know this is a long video at this point. Let me just sum it up, round it up right now. And I'll make another one probably tomorrow or the next day, because I want to get you guys into what we're doing. If you're still out there and you're thinking about trading and doing this for a living, what I try to do is show you how to make a combination of everything. Where to put your money to hold on to, where to put your money on a couple of swing trade ideas, like holding it for 3 or 4 days, and then how to grind out a little bit each day. Now the grinding out, I only want to do that between the hours of 9:30 and 11:30. 2 hours, and I show you 4 or 5 different setups to look for where you probably can profit about 80% of the time. Now, I still think buying and holding right now is probably going to be better again. But if you don't want to have any money in the market, you just want to learn how to grind out, and let's say make $100, $150, depending how you want to scale it. But on very limited risk, I could show you how to grind out. And it depends on, if I'm saying you're making 15 cents, it doesn't have to be on 1,000 shares. Maybe you want to buy 10,000 shares. I will show you how to pick and choose stocks that you could probably make 15, 20, 25 cents very, very quickly and very, very easily with very, very low risk. And that's what day trading is all about. You want to make your 15, 20, 25 cents 4 or 5 times a day, grind out your $500 or $1,000, and hey, look, if you're trading size, that's 10 grand a day. It's all relative. But just let me show you some tricks that I've picked up over the last 20 years that will help you along. So the link's always there. Click on it. The room is open right now. I gave you the password, but I plan on being retired in 2 years. I just don't have the energy to trade all day and talk all day. I'm getting old. I'm 42 now. My stomach's killing me every day. I wake up with a headache. So before I quit, come learn a couple of nuggets of wisdom from me. And again, for a nominal fee for the next 2 years, that's how we're doing it right now. If you've ever thought about investing in yourself or in any type of new service, come check out what we do and go from there. All right, guys. Enjoy your day. It's option expiration across the planet, so be careful. And bull market till 2015. Dow 20 thou. You heard it here.